Alright, what is up guys? It is your boy, Alpha YGO. I'm gonna need to make my own intro because I just copied the heck out of Spanko, but welcome to the channel. This is my first video. If you're tuning in, you're most likely coming from Spanko's channel where I showcased my Pendulum profile, you know, Pendymion Zefra as I call it, because it's Pendulum Magicians, Zefras, and Pendymions. But then this video will actually be a combo tutorial, kind of showing the meat and bones, the bread and butter of the deck. It's very basic, it's very simple. It's like an introductory combo, but it's kind of like it leads to a pretty strong board. But it's also kind of like, it's the reason why I say it's like the meat and bones, more like a skeleton of a combo, is because it can adapt into any other combo you'd like, right? Because every hand you open is going to be different, so you're going to have to be able to craft those hands into your board through whatever crafting means you have to do. And this combo will be, it's really like, it's more for the new Pendulum players, but people who want to start messing with the deck. This is just kind of like the basics of how it goes. So the cards we're going to start off with are these three, which are Servant, Dragon Shrine, and Terraforming. Obviously, we have multiple copies of these cards throughout the deck. Through the search card. For Dragon Shrine, as you probably know from the profile, I don't actually maximize on Dragon Shrine. I know it's a bit of a controversial topic of the ratio for this card. I just personally like to run the multiple copies of things that do the same thing, but not maximize on them, just run an array of them, because it's like, honestly guys, like, this is just, after turn one, it's just so mediocre. It's like, but then at least like, and you're like, well, I mean, if you don't see in your opening hand, doesn't your hand suck? And like, that's not necessarily the case. First of all, you're running different access to Darkworm, but it's also like, you'll find a way to your dragons, honestly. And instead of Terraforming, you could like see something like Zefra Providence, right? So honestly, there are multiple means to reproduce this combo of these three cards, but this is just like, again, the essence of what the deck is trying to accomplish. So without further ado, let's get started. So right now we are going to scale the Servant and Pendymion, activate Terraforming. Terraforming will allow us to get Oracle Zefra. Servant will be at 1 counter. We'll then activate Oracle Zefra. I'm sorry for the glare, guys. It's very hard to get good lighting and not get glare. So it's a little bit rough out here, but I'll make sure to increase the quality of the video as we go further into other videos, because this is my first attempt. I literally have a makeshift tripod right now. The struggle is real. So we're gonna get ourselves a Zefra here alongside our Dragon Shrine. So Servant will be at 2 counters since we activated the Oracle. And then right now you can activate either or, doesn't really matter which one you activate first. You kind of hedge your bets against what hand traps you might be experiencing right now. But let's just go ahead and activate Zefra. Get ourselves a Zefra Nui into the extra deck. It'll be hard to see, but we'll try to angle it so we can kind of get an idea of where they are. So Zefra will be at a scale 7 at the moment. Keep that in mind. So we're right now at scale 2, scale 7. But although Servant is at 3 counters right now from Zefra, before we activate her effective special stuff, we will activate Dragon Shrine, because Dragon Shrine will allow us to grab the Darkworm wherever he is at the moment. Grab our Darkworm, put him in grave, and obviously you have to have an empty board before you summon him. I know you can get a little overzealous and summon a bunch of free specials before you do stuff like the Darkworm, but remember, we gotta get the Darkworm out here. And in this situation, I like to usually play on the right side of my board, play with the right extra monster zone. So Darkworm, where it comes out, doesn't really matter, because we're probably going to go into our link 2 with him, but like usually I like to keep him around in this area. We'll activate Servant's effect to special herself out with the boy Jackal. Now, if you know, honestly, and at this point, Dark Room does get ourselves gate 0. Very important here. Let's see. Finding another 1-of in the deck is truly a struggle. Anyways. So keep in mind, sorry, I forgot to add this, but this is in our hand, and Jackal will then come out. Currently, they are both at 1 counter, and they have the ability to negate whatever hand trap might be coming for us, because we do have 2 counters, but we're going to want to activate the gate 0 here in order for him to have 3 counters, and so he can negate things on his own and use these 2 for Electromite. Now, the thing is, you can bring him out if you're scared of monster-based hand traps, aka like mainly Ghost Ogre. Veiler, it sucks, but it's not like the end of the world. Imperm, same thing. It's like if you get Imperm, it kind of sucks, but it's not the worst. You just really don't want to lose your arrows, so I think Jackal King for most cases is very good. If you know you're facing something like True Draco and you know the fact they're never gonna have like a monster hand trap, based hand trap most likely, and you're scared of something like Typhoon and like Imperm, then you can go into Master of Pendymion. Sorry for the glare, so I'll just show him here. So we can go him instead of Jackal King, but in this case, usually you will go Jackal King. So from here on, we can, because he has that 2 skills, we feel pretty safe to go into our plays. In this case, we can go into Electromite. Why would you not want to go into Electromite? But I'm going to show you guys the fact that you don't actually need Electromite here. You're like, Alpha, playing a Pendulum deck combo without Electromite, that's bonkers. But I'll just show you, we're going to show you what it's like without an Electromite. So we're just going to make a beat cop with 2 link arrows, right? And you're like, oh, Alpha, you scrub, not even using Electromite, oh geez. But then, keep in mind, this is, I just want to showcase to you what the deck can do with just 3 cards, without Electromite and without 2 cards in hand, because if you use Electromite, or if you use the other 2 cards potentially that were in your hand, oh sorry, this is my extra deck, but then you would be able to get another negate on board. But we're just going to show you what it's like with just bare minimal essentials. So obviously we can't summon a servant right now at the moment, because her effect is you can only special her once. Gladly, luckily we did get the official ruling that if she's in scale and she accumulates 3 counters, and upon trying to summon her, you ash her, if you accumulate another 3 counters on her, you can special her again. So that's been recently ruled as that, and that's quite good. But in this case, we can't pendulum summon her out, so we will be leaving her in the extra deck. So in this case, all we're going to need are the 2 boys here, Zefra Nui and Darkroom. Try to summon Darkroom to the right side of the link 2, and Zefra Nui over to, well, other extra monster stone. And in that situation, we will get ourselves a Zefra Providence. Or if you wanted to, let's say you open the Zefra Providence, you can just go ahead and get yourself a, where you at? Where's my trap at? Here's the trap. Okay. So you can just get the trap right away, or you can get a Zefra Providence. The reason why I like to get Zefra Providence first and then just search out this is because 1, deck thinning. 2, you get to add a little bit layer protection for something like Zefra once you activate in the next following turns. And most importantly, if you've ended up having to protect your board with Jackal King, let's say they try to Veiler this and you use this, or if you ended up using the Electromite and you end up using Jackal King, at least you could restock up on your counters, so it's locked and ready for the next turn, and you don't have to hedge on the bet like that your opponent will activate a spell to make him live again. So I like to just go ahead with that, and then now we have our Zefra Divine Strike right there. And then following this, we'll go into some very generic, very repetitive guard giant combos. So we'll get the Darkworm, we'll put him, we'll take him out, sub in the good old LP. LP, as you know, can point this way, so you put him to the right. Zefra Nui, along with our link 2, which in this case is the Beacop, will create us, the triple burst. Triple burst obviously pointing down. And now that these 2 are pointing to each other, we will be able to use LP's effect to bring out the dragon from within our deck. And it's Distrudo. I have mixed feelings about Destrudo. He's a good card. He's a great card, but man, paying half your life points in game 3 situations, and your opponent just looks at you with a smug smile. They're like, "I'm a slow play the hell out of you," and I'm just like, "Man, you know you're not breaking my board. Just scoop it up already." But anyways, Destrudo right here, we'll link him off along with Tregit and put down our guard pane. And with our guard pane out and about and pointing to the same zone as LP, we will be able to bring out our dragon from the extra deck, which will be a Vortex. Vortex is great because Pendulum base deck, and why would you not run an Omni Negate? And once you use those two, you will be able to bring out Hieratic Link. I'm just gonna keep showing off the cards because I know the glare is very, very daunting here. I'm gonna have to go fix that eventually. But now, see, this is so, and then obviously here, once we set this, we will have one Omni Negate, two Omni Negate, a Monster Negate, and a bounce, which will lead us to a second form, another form of disruption, which in this deck is the form of Aether. Aether, once normal or special, will be able to banish a face-up monster your opponent controls. So now, off of 3 cards, not using Electromite, and not using one of the two potential cards in our hand, we have three negates and 2 forms of disruption, which is pretty good, right? So showcasing that's kind of like the essential of what the deck tries to do. You try to get the Dark Worm out to enable the Guard Dragon combos. You try to get the Zefra, at least some Zefra stuff out to enable the trap, and everything else is kind of complementary to that fact. And it means allow your plays to go through your if we see Magicians, they allow us for some really good scales. Harmonizing can bring out really powerful, plays because just itself is like 1 negate, right? So obviously you have to be very mindful of your zones. This is just very, very simple of how I like to do it. As you can kind of tell by the way I situated my zones, I like to put the Dark Worm to where it will automatically go into LP. Put the Zephyr Nui it's going to have to come out in that specific zone, but you leave them there just for the fodder for the triple burst. And if you kept in mind, I like to put the Pendymion / the Jackal King to the far left where it won't get in the way. In reverse situations where you have to put the left zone, you just do kind of things the inverse, but make sure Dark Worm will be in the center because it will be the bottom right of that. So right now we just shuffled our deck. I don't know if it's shuffled properly, but who cares because that's just Yu-Gi-Oh! We're going to cut it and we're going to test out a test hand. Oh, that's not good. These are okay. Oh boy. So right now we have 2 bricks in our hand. Can we play through this? That depends on how goat we are. So let's just go ahead and activate Upstart just for, because let's see if we can get into anything. Oh no, another brick. Oh boy, oh boy. Now let's see if we can use our big old noggins to bring about some decent plays. Let's try to scale this. 0 here. Let's activate ourselves. Duelist Alliance. Duelist Alliance will get us Pendulum Call. Pendulum Call we shall. So the thing is, we can get rid of, if we were to get rid of Garuda, we lose out on a potential normal summon. If we get rid of Aether, we potentially lose out on the fact that we lose 1 negate at the end of our board. But I think for the sake of safety, we will have to, for the sake of the video, let's just use Pendulum Call and Aether to pitch those and get ourselves 2 Magicians. The Magicians we'll probably need are always going to be Harmonizing, and most likely something like the lines of, let us see, Black Fang for a high scale. Shuffle that up. Now let us activate Black Fang in the scale. We don't have any turbo cards with this hand, so we're gonna summon Harmonizing Magician over here, Garuda somewhere along those lines. Actually, whoopsie doodles, man. Before I have to activate this, oh boy, how foolish we are as humans. Let's get ourselves a Zefrath, actually. Zefrath maximize on some of the pluses we can manage here. Get ourselves a Zefra Nui, put it in our extra deck, off the angle just so we can maybe see it. Now we can pen summon even further beyond. So we're going to be summoning Zefra Nui over here, harmonizing. We can just summon, but just about summon everything we want to, honestly. So let's just summon everything there. We'll activate chain link 1 and 2 for Zefra Nui and harmonizing. So let's get ourselves chain it to however you prioritize. For the sake of this, I'm just gonna add like just grab an LO. So let's just summon a purple poison. Why not? Now we will able to use Garuda and Zefra Nui to go into our Electromite. From there, Electromite will then send us our boy the Dark Worm, and then from here, let's just what do we not want on our board? We could honestly pop one of our monsters on the board and just go from there, but we're going to be a little greedy here. Let's just pop the Zefra because keeping it as a scale 5 might be a little daunting. Get the Dark Worm. Keep in mind, we did not normal summon this turn. I would have liked to showcase a combo, a test hand where we can go even further beyond without a normal summon, but we opened 3 bricks. 2 bricks in our initial hand and upstarted into another brick. So you know what, we're just gonna have to be thankful to what we got. So we're gonna, let's just, how do we want to do this? Because there's a lot of codes we can do. We can either end on Dweller or Boral Savage here. And so, oh, the Distributor wasn't my extra deck, you sneaky boy. But then, so we can either end on a Boral Savage or a Dweller. You know what, for the sake of this video, we're just gonna end on a Dweller because Dweller's always hot and spicy. I'm just gonna use also the purple poison because that one, otherwise we'll get banished. Let's conserve some of our resources. We will then normal summon our Dark Worm. No effect, obviously, because we don't have another gate 0. Then we will be able to link the Dark Worm into LP, Black Fang, Electromite. Oh, and the best part is we didn't even get to draw off of the Electromite. That draw. Oh, you know what? Let's imagine it was a second break. I deserve it for not shuffling it into originally. So I'm gonna say that Electromite drew us into another brick. You know what? Let's just go for it, boys. So now, because thankfully at least LP can summon from the hand. So you know what? Let's just double check this guy can summon from the hand. Yes, it is from the hand as well. So we're gonna use Distrudo plus Triple Burst. Make that Garping. Summon out the Vortex. Put these 2 boys away. Hieratic Link. And set that. And of course, since we have Zefra Nui in our extra deck, along with Zefrath actually, our Divine Strike is locked and ready to go. We have a Dweller, which will show off the majority of the decks in the format. And we have, of course, our 2 disruptions into, well, at the moment, since we unfortunately had to use Aether, we will be unfortunately just sitting on 2 Omni Gates, a Floodgate, and 1 Bounce. And honestly, I'm not too happy with this board, but at the same time, we opened 3 bricks. A Garuda starting first, a Dark Worm, a Gate 0, a hypothetical Dark Worm, a Distrudo off of the Electromite, and the Aether. Oh boy, that was just a big old doozy, wasn't it? But at the least, we actually managed to pull out a pretty decent board. But like this, and opening quite literally super suboptimal. But at the same time, I think this is a good representation of how the deck can function, even though it seems very dire and it can be very tilting to see like hands like that often. But as you can see, you can still pump out pretty good stuff.
Alright guys, unfortunately my phone died just when the video was about to be over, so I wasn't able to really record my my end message, which was thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate for all those who came to tune in. I know like we're just starting out, but you know, it's humble beginnings. I want to bring a lot more unique types of content to the channel, whether it's different types of profiles of rogue, competitive, anything. So please let me know what you want to see. I'm definitely gonna fix all the technical issues that happened during this video. I'm not gonna have so much glare in all my videos anymore. Even I was getting tilted off that, but it was my first time attempting this, so I just gave it my best shot. I'm gonna learn and improve a lot over the course of this journey. So please stay tuned. And you know what? I'm gonna copy Spanko one more time. Alpha YGO signing out.